Hello, welcome Southern Kingdom, and
Good morning, Westeros.
First of all, let's talk about production news for 2018. Well, not really production news, but we want to talk about the news that Watchers on the Wall reported that there will be no prequel or spinoff until 2020. So there's lots of talk of what's going to be the prequel, first of all. So maybe they're taking their time in deciding what is best, what is going to be a good story.
Yeah, I bet they have at least a few that they're like, it's going to be one of these, because there's certain things that people really want to see and that would really make a good story. So it'll be interesting to just see which one they pick.
Yeah, I mean, comment if you know what you want to see as far as the prequel. But personally, I would like to see Aegon's Conquest because that is going to be crazy. Seeing Field of Fire, flying over the Vale, dragons and the Dragon Conquest. That's
that'll be a great one. Another one possibility is the Dance of Dragons. I think is
massive dragon too.
There's dragons in that one too. A lot of dragon fighting for that one. Nice Targaryen civil war to make things interesting.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that would be just crazy. I just imagine the huge CGI on that, and I don't know. Maybe if it's going to be Dance of Dragon, and we're going to have to wait until 2020. We can wait,
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
for sure.
leave a comment if you can suggest a show that we can watch in between. Other news for 2008 production. So I guess this is more of a Game of Thrones production, the TV show production. They received nomination for Best Visual Effects for sound mixing at the Golden Globe, and I think this is something that they've carried home many years in the past. I don't know exactly how many, but for a TV production.
For sure, yeah, that's hard to beat. So good to hear.
And then I guess true to production news, Kit Harington was seen in the studio, Titanic studio in Belfast. Roaming his mood and muck around.
Lots of brooding needed to be done.
So we will see. We will see what Kit is up to in about a couple of years.
Yeah, I know, right?
4 years,
gotta
5
wait.
years? I don't know. It's like the Olympic. You
That's
gotta
what
wait.
it feels like. Yeah, once every 4 years. Yeah.
So I guess and the last thing I want to mention about the production news for season 8 is that cast of the Night Watch. I guess Ed. When was the last time we saw Ed of the Night Watch?
I think when
Bran.
I don't know, with
for
Bran.
season 1, the first episode where Bran comes to the wall and he's like, "I saw you at the Fist of the First Men." Like, oh, okay, you're Bran.
Yep.
You can
that
come in.
was the last time I think I saw Dolores Ed.
So I guess maybe somebody will make their way, maybe Beric or maybe
Tormund.
Yeah, will make their way to Castle Black
For sure.
and meet up with the men of the Night Watch. We will see. So that's all I have for you, unless you guys have anything as far as.
Not anything too recent. No.
Nope.
Well, and then also, I guess no book news from George, but
Yeah.
we'll keep you suspended on that one. That's not
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. So we hold with bated breath for sure.
Yeah.
Soon.
Boo.
So this is our second review of season 7. This is episode 2, Stormborn. We will be reviewing this episode. Just kind of getting in depth, you guys. Whatever you know or whatever questions you have on the show. Like myself, sometimes I watch it and I have like a lot of questions, so we can talk over these things. Let's go right into it.
Yeah.
Starts out in a stormy night on Dragonstone. In the map room, Tyrion said to, it was a stormy night like this when Daenerys comes into the world. And then they're planning their invasion. Tyrion reminds her that she doesn't want to be Queen of the Ashes, so they're planning their strategy kind of carefully to see how, we're going to take over Westeros.
For sure. Yeah, she places a lot of trust into Tyrion to kind of get this thing going and get it going the right way. But it also leads to the question, what is this end game for Daenerys once she's on the Iron Throne? What is this new world that she's looking to build by not outright just burning everything to the ground,
Yeah,
so I'm always curious about what new world she's trying to bring into existence.
Yeah, and also I guess at this point they made it to Dragonstone, and Dragonstone is within Blackwater Bay. What most people could do is just go and attack the nearest
Yep.
there. So, but I guess Tyrion tells her that it's interesting. You don't want to be queen of the ashes, so
Yep.
do you want to rule over this land where everybody's going to hate you, or there's going to be tons of people dead, and they're going to be hating you for killing their cousins, brothers, aunts, and nephew, all of the above.
Everybody got roasted.
So I mean,
in the club get roasted.
is that a new? You have your Bandcamp link for that song? Everybody in close.
Targaryen jams.
Targaryen bangers.
So right now, Team Danny is completely outmatched. She's the matching the Mad Queen.
Yep.
She's got Dothraki. She's got Unsullied. She's got
The Reach, Ironborn, the Dorne is behind her. She's really being set up to be a huge power player in the days to come. So we'll see how that works out.
I guess in transition, she thanks Varys. I guess she said something like, "I never got to thank you for bringing me to Dorne, allying Dorne and Highgarden." So the conversation leads to between Daenerys and Varys, and then it quickly got weird fast. I mean, she went.
Yeah.
Danny's got some emotional issues. I don't know. She went from thanking somebody to like straight up like questioning his loyalty by saying that you served the Mad King, my father, and then you served Robert, and then you served Joffrey, and now you're serving me. It's like, who's your loyalty? And that's kind of throughout the series, starting with season 1. When we first met Varys, we always want to question what his motives are.
Exactly. Yep. And it seems to be he's always spoken of the realm, the good of the realm, and so is he on the lowborn side, the common people, and whoever he thinks will bring peace to everybody? Is that what his end game in? It's really hard to say. He's been kind of a sneaky guy for some seasons. So is this his true face that we're finally seeing?
I would say in the amount of years that he's been in, I think it was Ares that got him into his service, right? The Mad King originally.
I believe so. Yeah.
So before that, he was at it was Pentos with
Illyrio.
Illyria.
Yep, they were some of the best
When he learned the trade.
thieves. Yeah.
He literally lived in the alley, and he said in this conversation, he grew up in the alleys, pretty much grinding out, and then until Illyrio found him, so he had to make it, and then he understands what it's like to be a commoner from the bottom.
Yep.
So that's what his interest is. Mm-hmm. But might this be some foretelling for Varys' future?
It could be, yeah. If this is all just him trying to pull one over on Daenerys, it could end very poorly for him. She's told him exactly what she's gonna do. So
well, she said, "Swear to me," like swear to me that you look me in the eye, and if you don't approve of my ruling, look in my eye and tell me. Otherwise, don't scheme behind my back. Look me in the eye. Otherwise, I got some dragon fire coming your way.
Yep.
He's right up the butt.
I heard dragon fire is pretty hot.
Yeah, you don't want to avoid it at all costs.
It's like liquid. It's weird looking. No, like when it sprays from a dragon's mouth,
yeah.
it looks like it's spraying a liquid out so fast that it catches fire and then just keeps going in a stream.
It's true. It's napalm.
Yeah, like napalm.
They did say this, like napalm. Having napalm is like weapon, like medieval napalm.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Varys does have some good point too. After all, he's very good at what he does.
He is, yes.
He said something like incompetence shouldn't be rewarded with blind royalty. It's something that's true. To certain characters, for some of our favorite characters, to be honest, Davos is something that comes to mind with me. When Stannis was just kind of burning everybody, he still swear his loyalty to Stannis. He's almost faithful to loyal to Stannis to a fault.
He did, yeah. He owed Stannis quite a bit, so I get where he kind of turned a blind eye, but there is a time when the ruler becomes ineffective that things need to be said. He did get Gendry out of there, so there was that. He wasn't going to sit and watch poor guy get burned alive for
Yeah.
whatever, silly reasons. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any others. Almost all the rulers have had people just kind of blindly follow,
and they have the power too. So almost like if you don't do that, you don't want your head to fall off your.
Exactly. Yep. Step in line to keep your head.
So anyway, just Daenerys promises him that he's gonna burn him with dragon fire if he double cross her. Moving on to the next scene, the Red Lady of Ashai arrives, and she brings Daenerys. She comes to Daenerys to tell the queen that the long night is coming, and only the prince who was promised can bring the dawn. Melisandre advises Daenerys to summon Jon Snow, King of the North. And then Tyrion steps in. He's like, "Hey, Jon Snow, I knew him. We traveled to the wall together." So the Red Lady is back, and she tells that the long night is coming. Just kind of like in history. And you need the prince who was promised, Azor Ahai.
Yep. So I'm not quite sure who she thinks is the prince that was promised. If she thinks it's Dany or Jon, but get all your eggs together there, and hopefully it's one of them, because that's what it's appearing to be. It's one of them. So set up for your strongest force against the great other, and hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah.
Well, her end game is to bring in fire and ice together.
Yep.
To put an end to the long night, right?
Yep.
So there was a lot of talk there, and again, they questioned Melisandre because she followed the wrong one before, and she said, visions are kind of tricky. I kind of made a mistake in the past. So we will see what happens now of Lady Melisandre. But moving on to the next scene. So like season 7 style, ravens travel.
Like lightning.
Yep. Faster than a text.
It arrives to Winterfell, and
Clinky, clinky.
Tyrion tells Jon to come meet the Dragon Queen. He mentioned something about all bastards or all
Go to heaven.
All dwarfs, all dwarfs go to heaven.
Yeah.
No, he mentioned that all dwarfs are bastards in their father's eye, alluding back to the episode where they traveled to the wall together, and it was back when earlier seasons the conversations was really kind of really put you into the show.
For sure. Yeah.
So that was the conversation they had amongst each other. Something about how Tyrion feel that all dwarfs are bastards in their father's eye.
Yep. So it was good. Kind of bringing full circle in the show. It's fun to allude back to season 1.
Well, and then here again, Sansa's questioning Jon, because Jon knows that he must do this, because the advice of Davos against Sir Davos, what breathes fire?
Yeah, really simple. Let's yeah. If you can get 3 dragons against the White Walkers, hey, might have a chance.
Yes.
Just maybe.
Yes.
So,
much better of a chance. Anyway.
Yeah, so Sansa's still like, you shouldn't do it, but yeah, I guess if you do it. And then Jon's like, whatever, chill. I'm going to let you be in charge. So she's like, oh, okay.
All right.
And she stopped complaining.
Yep, that's all she wants. So she cares about family, of course, but she feels it's her right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on.
So the next scene, we're in the throne room at the Red Keep, and Cersei tells the Southern Lord that they should fear the Mad Queen's daughter. They should ally and protect the realm from foreign invaders. And then she uses the CUNT words. I believe, but it wouldn't be a surprise. I don't remember if she used. But anyway, Cersei style. She doesn't speak well of other women.
No, she does not. No, I don't. I'm trying to think of any female she's gotten along with in the show at all.
We'll get back to you.
Myrcella, I'd say her daughter's probably the only one.
Yeah. Well, those are her blood relative, and that was the only reason why she put up with a lot of things.
Yep. But yeah, it was interesting to see her talk to these lords and really trying to put the fear of God in them for Daenerys, who they really know nothing about. It's very true. She's been in Essos almost her whole life, and here she brings the Dothraki horde. It's she's the stallion that mounts the world to them, so it's all the Dothraki.
It's never been done.
Never been done.
She's done
What
it.
an
She brought
open
them to
field. No.
and 3 dragons.
And 3 dragons, unsullied, which is, considered a slave army. As much as she did free them, it's still viewed as a slave army. And then, to have Randall Tarly go against who was the Targaryen loyalist in Robert's Rebellion. I just thought it was a little weird.
Yeah,
A little weird.
he was a little skeptical at first. He was listening, but he was summoned there, and he did ask like, she's got 3 dragons. What are your plans for it? And Qyburn mentions that we have a plan for the dragon. So it didn't sold him right away.
Yeah, that's true. It did take a little bit, but yeah.
Jamie did convince him. Jamie had a little talk. He promises that once they get rid of the invading army, they're going to need somebody to be warden of the south. So, is it the west or the south?
For the south. They're the south, yep.
Right. South side?
Yep. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me that the Tarleys would go against, first their liege lords, the Tyrells, and then he was a Targaryen loyalist. It seems awkward to me.
Yeah. I guess we...
Indubitably.
Indubitably, this time we have to even out the feel.
I get it. Yeah,
So,
it's story writing. I know.
It's making sense with so. However it is, I mean, he was a little bit reluctant. He wasn't sold right away. He wasn't like going to be easily like okay.
No.
He's like.
Warden of the South.
And then Jamie promises him Warden of the South, and cut away. We go to Ser Jorah, and he is given a night. He's inspected by Maester Ebros, and Maester Ebros tells Sam that there's no cure for grayscale, and the practice and treatment is forbidden at the Citadel. So that sucks, Jorah.
Yeah. Wah, wah.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Can't help you.
Sorry, man. It's finish yourself off, I guess.
Yeah. Do whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of says something like that, right? He looks at the sword and he's like, whatever you do is up to you. And he looks at the sword. There's no cure. You got this indubitably disease that will indubitably kill you.
So, here's a sword. Do with what you will. But tomorrow you're gonna go to the Stone Men.
So that's
So maybe use that sword.
we will see, Ser Jorah.
We will see.
In the Red Keep cellar, Qyburn reveals to Cersei that his plan for the dragon is the scorpion, and he demonstrates it. He pulls out the giant skull of Balerion the Black Dread, one of my favorite dragon of all time. And,
It
is
one,
the biggest one, right? I don't know if it's the biggest one that they ever had, but it's pretty damn big.
I think anyone got bigger.
It's described as blacking out the sky when it flies over towns and cities.
Yep.
That'd be
Mammoths.
insane.
They could walk mammoths into its mouth. It was so big. Yeah. I think Vagar was the only one that could get close.
So look at that picture with Cersei standing next to the skull of Balerion, and she's. It could just like she's like the size of a peanut too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets stuck between its teeth.
Yeah.
So then they have no respect for history, you guys. He demonstrates and he puts an arrow right into the skull of Balerion. It's just like somebody going to your museum and they just like take that T-Rex.
Exactly. I did not like them seeing defiling Valerion's skull like that. I get what they were doing, but it's one of a kind.
So the feel is definitely even more now that they reveal this scorpion that can take down dragon, and then potential allies with the Tarleys. It's looking like it could be. It's not as it might not. The road to the Seven Kingdoms is not as easy for Daenerys.
No, a little more even playing ground.
So the next scene we switch to Dragonstone, and Daenerys and her allies, Team Dany. With Olenna Tyrell, Alarys Sand, Yara, and Theon Greyjoy. Theon Greyjoy, I can say that 10 times. I hate that dude's name.
Theon Greyjoy.
Not sure if I like Theon.
No.
Theon discussing plan of invasion for invasion of Westeros. A lot of things going on in this scene as far as what people wanted. I think everybody got their own agenda, even though this is an ally. Tyrion and Alaria, they have, she she poisoned his niece, child.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's too terribly thrilled with that because he did care about Tommen and Myrcella quite a bit. He was very fond of his niece and nephew there. So everybody's there for their own gain, and having 3 dragons at your back for that is pretty good.
That'll help you out a bit.
Everybody's kind of vying for position, and I think in this scene we have Elena kind of hang back and talk with Daenerys at the end there and remind her, you are a dragon. Don't let these people push you around and be what you are.
Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped ahead a little.
No, no, it's okay. That was a very interesting conversation too, because advising, and there's another person with her own agenda. Right now she has nothing to lose. So, granted, it was pretty strong, empowering comment. But if you're thinking from if you're the hand of the queen, which is Tyrion, you're just like, yeah, Olenna wants nothing to see more than the end of Lannister.
Yep.
They brought harm to her entire family. They brought pretty much an end. They
end
already
to the
ended.
Tyrells,
When she dies, it's gonna.
That's it.
Tyrells are gonna be over. So, I guess Tyrion, not Tyrion, but the Daenerys kind of emphasized what Tyrion said later. She said, "I don't want to be queen of the ashes," and then so they come up with this plan. Tyrion comes up with the plan that they want to take Casterly Rock, the stronghold of Lannister, sort of like a moral victory, gaining against them to kind of piss off the Lannister.
Yeah, pure revenge. Really no tactical reason for it. It's, it's a rock. It's a great fortress, but it serves no purpose going forward, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I guess everybody's got their own agenda. And Tyrion, again, these people, even though they're family to him, they almost killed him. Cersei,
exactly.
She wants nothing more than to see him dead.
Yep.
So he's got personal agenda too. So what must one do? As a leader, you get all kinds of advices. Everybody wants what's best for them, and they want you to make the decision on what's best for them. So another thing that Daenerys is learning how hard it is to rule is that
everybody wants something. Yeah.
But anyway, the Hand of the Queen, the Queen gets the ruling on that one, the decision.
Yep.
But let's just say if you guys were advising Daenerys, what would you advise her to do?
What would I advise her to do? Well, I do like the not being Queen of Ashes thing, but fighting must take place. I think that, visit great lords of Westeros, kind of like her ancestors did, and see if they'll turn to her side and then get even more. So she's got the Reach, Dorne, Iron Islands at this point. There's plenty of others she could go chat with and see if they won't join her. And if they don't, dragons,
Pretty much, you have a choice here.
I bet there's somebody else in that, household that would support her.
It never hurts to have more allies.
Yep, exactly.
Unless they're allies that stabs you in the back like the freaking phrase.
Phrase.
Well, they weren't really allies, right? But they had an agreement. So
they were. Well, they're supposed to be. They were supposed to be. But yeah, Rob broke the agreement, and the late Lord Frey did not.
Thanks to Arya, there are no more Freys left. So, moving on to the next scene. Awkwardly, we have eunuch sex.
The best
and the
kind
next
of sex.
scene.
Yeah, moving on.
That was just.
Don't know what else to say about this scene. There was.
If you're ever curious, that's what it's like.
Yep.
Great.
I like the characters. It just was awkward.
So at the Citadel, Archmaester Ebros tells Sam that he's chronicled in the world of Westeros since the death of King Robert. So at the start of the War of the Five King, I guess Maester Ebros has been documented this. So kind of foretelling. You wonder if would this be something that Sam, because there's a lot of fan theories that this Story of Ice and Fire is written by Sam.
Oh yeah, it
Um,
could be.
So it might be a foretelling. I don't know, like Maester Ebro's telling him that he's got this book that he's been recording him all of this since our story began in the Game of Thrones. So Sam also found this book by Archmaester Pylos on rare diseases. And Maester Ebros explained that Archmaester Pylos died of grayscale, attempted to cure grayscale.
Oh dear. Well then.
That'd be no good. That's no good.
So the
Don't try it.
practice of curing grayscale is what? It's forbidden.
It's forbidden.
Don't do it.
No. It is legend.
Like Frankie says. Relax.
Relax.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So
So what does Sam do? No.
Sam goes and attempts to cure dragons.
There we go.
You deliberately disobeyed me.
in just since the first episode and then this one they're just hellbent on making sure Sam gets the grossest scenes.
Yeah.
Absolutely grossest scenes.
You're not advertising for the Citadel very well.
No, maesters do a lot of gross things, and
It's like your science class where you have to dissect the frog and all that kind of stuff, but times it by dead bodies.
yes,
Cadets.
times it by dead bodies. That's a good way of putting it.
Not of a frog, but of human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Sam's never done this before. Jorah asks, like, yeah, you've done this before? And the look Sam gives him, he's
No.
not exactly, never.
Yeah, it's either this or
Yep, you died.
say hello to that sword tonight.
Yeah.
So why not give it a try? See what happens. In absolute pain.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, and then, the gross scene, and then Sam begins to, escape into his skin, and then, you got the pus coming out.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that was.
Visually, maybe that's why earlier we were talking about, no, was that sound? But anyway, their visual art team, the award for making pus. And,
Yeah, they're very good at it, for sure.
Like, all right, guys, we got this is our ace in the hole. Let's make that pus look good.
I think they're super excited when they get to do scenes like that. They're like, all right, let's give it a go.
I wanted to have the consistency of a Boston cream pie.
Speaking of pie,
Hot pie.
Hot pie.
transitioning, yes.
Pie.
Here's for
Hot
hot pie, you
pie.
guys. We see hot
Woo.
pie again.
Hot pie.
And it's been a while since we've seen hot pie. Last he left, and he was gonna stay at the crossroad, the inn at the crossroad. And then here Arya sitting there eating the pie, and then it's kind of warm to see hot pie again.
Yeah, somebody she cared about. Was
Yeah.
friendly with, friendly face.
And I wonder if hot pie knows how to make a pie out of pus.
Pus
Warm
pie.
pus pie.
Oh, you got to brown the butter first. No.
Wow. So there was a lot of catching up, characters. Arya is hot pie reveals to Arya that Winterfell is back in Stark control.
Yes, that's.
Star control.
Is that a song by Jefferson Stark? So Jon Snow won the Battle of the Bastard, and has gotten back Winterfell. And, the reaction on her was she didn't realize this. And news didn't arrive to her. She didn't have an iPhone or anything to check on the news.
Sadly, no ravens were coming to her. But it was it was good to see. She was excited. Good news for her finally. Family's alive. Winterfell's in Stark control. How much better could it be?
So she was saying her intention in the last episode that she was going south to kill the queen. And then here, after that scene where she tells Hot Pie to take care, she was kind of, she was kind of cold. There was not much of emotion for her, whereas Hot Pie was. He was complimenting her too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're looking kind of pretty now. I never thought you you were a boy. And she was kind of like she was complimented by Hot Pie, which kind of took her a little bit. You can. So in this scene, Arya gets onto her horse outside of the inn, in the middle, and look at this picture. Like one side is frosty and full of snow, and the other side is kind of green. representing green pasture more south, so winter's moving south. But and it's like exactly in the crossroad right now with winters.
Yep.
So it shows she's heading towards the colder part.
Yep, she's a Stark.
north.
It's where she needs to be.
Yep.
Winter has come, and
She's going home. You know, she's
Yep.
gonna have to leave vengeance aside to
Yeah.
reunite with who knows is there. You know, she left when she was, you know, like in season 1, and
yeah, it's been a long time, very long time, for a lot of the Starks.
who knows what to expect.
Yep.
So going back to Winterfell now, Jon wants to tell everyone in the north that he wants to go to Dragonstone for Dragonglass, and he has to meet with Daenerys. And they need to ally. This is better for the wars to come. And obviously, you know, it's kind of complicated, and he's got to deal with some of these lords of the north, where one side are like king of the north, and the other side, another side, are like, oh, you can't do that. You're not true king of the north.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, stick with your guns, dude. This is your king. He's deciding to do something. You know, go with him, right?
Yeah, I mean that. It's so hard to convince anybody who hasn't seen the White Walkers that they are real and they are coming. It's been such a fairy tale for thousands of years. So even the Northern Lords, I think, are having a little harder time grasping that this is a very real threat and that their king will do anything to save them from this. You know, he's doing this for them. So to get Dragonglass is just so imperative at this point.
Yeah. Even like the mention of Dragon too. You know, like you said, they don't even know Dragon. You know, Dragon's been gone from the world for a long time now, and to hear that Jon's like, we need to ally with this Dragon Queen, and they just, you know, oh, maybe, you know, they underestimated napalm power.
Yeah, it's you know, Aegon conquered Westeros with 3 dragons. It shouldn't seem that too far-fetched that to have dragons on your side is a really good idea.
Indeed.
So Jon Royce even said.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
So Jon Royce even said that you should never trust a Targaryen. Speaking to Jon, to never trust a Targaryen. So there's a little bit of foreshadowing to come of Jon's true identity, which has already been revealed, I guess.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, Starks in general have not done well in the South. But again, like you said, foreshadowing, Jon is not a Stark, so maybe he'll do a little bit better in the South.
He's made up his mind. He's going to do it. He's going
Yep.
to go south, regardless of what your decision is. I am the king. I want to do kingly things, like go with my own decision.
Yeah, and that's part of ruling. What you think is best is what you need to do.
There you go, Jon. He's learning to rule. And he's down in the crypts of Winterfell, you know,
No.
brooding and praying to his dad, you know, who he thinks is his dad, Ned. You know, probably it's kind of interesting. I think one of the scenes they were cutting in there, and before they showed Jon, they were dolly in the shot, and I think it passed like the statue of his mother,
Oh, Lyanna?
the statue of Lyanna,
Lyanna
right
Stark,
before
yep.
it went to him.
Oh, nice.
So
There.
he's standing there brooding, and guess who shows up?
Hey, creeping. Littlefinger be creeping. For
Yeah,
sure.
little finger creeping down the crypts. You know, what are you doing down there, little finger?
Yeah, he has.
Shouldn't be down there.
No,
hang
he
out-
shouldn't be
hanging out
down
down
there. That's for Starks only.
But he's just, you know, he's saying that if it wasn't for me, you know, shouldn't you thank me? Because if it wasn't for me, that you guys would have lost the battle of Bastard, and Ramsay would have annihilated you guys. So wouldn't you thank me? And you know, I've loved your Catelyn, and I love your sister.
Oh, wrong thing to say.
He's confessing, which he really does. You know, like we said,
Yeah.
he's Sansa's getting to his head. You know, she's blockading his manipulating skill as he's dropping his game, sort of. Because you know,
He is for
that's
sure.
what a woman would
yeah.
do too. Nothing can break Littlefinger's manipulation like a woman of Sansa.
Yeah, that's the only person who can, because he's played the long con really well so far,
Yeah.
and to really be dropping the ball now is just amateur.
So after this, he confesses his love to Sansa. Jon chokeslams him against the wall.
Like you do.
And you're just watching. You're just like, Jon, just don't let go. Just keep squeezing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Don't stop until
let's
you
be
take
done
out
with
the.
this already.
But he's just like, touch my sister and I'll kill you myself. You know, way to go, Jon. Yes.
Yeah.
So he fixes his collar and he walks away like a little bitch that he is. And, he's 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 an interesting character, but it's just like lately, Littlefinger has just kind of been standing there. So
Yeah.
we will see what he wanted out
Sadly,
of
yeah.
that. Maybe it's foretelling too for foreshadowing Littlefinger's fate. I don't know. So the next scene, Arya is traveling and in the Riverland, or assuming she's in the Riverland now.
Yep.
And she runs into the pack of wolf, and then next thing you know comes the big dire wolf, and then she recognizes that this is Nymeria coming, and
It was so heartbreaking, and it was so great she finally got to see her wolf again. Has since season 1 when
she released
ran
it.
her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nymeria didn't want to leave her. She protected Arya, and she was told to run away and thrown rocks at her, and she was confused. And it's just good to see another direwolf alive with the massacre that was the past couple seasons on direwolves. So it was.
Not another dire wolf.
It was a bittersweet scene. It's good to see Nymeria alive, but yeah,
And Nymeria is coming to a circle herself. Yeah, she's been on a journey, sort of like Arya herself too. Who knows when she's brought this pack of wolf. Like she's the boss over there, and
yeah, that's very
she
true.
herself is coming to a full circle. She's found her identity, sort of like Arya, and that's why Arya comes by and tells her that she's traveling home to Winterfell. You want to come with me, girl?
Yeah.
And then Nymeria walks away, and then she said something like, "That's not you, isn't it?" And I guess later on at the end of the show, they allude to the fact that this is from an earlier episode in season 1 when they Ned and Arya was in King's Landing, and she's training, and Ned says something about you're gonna be a lady of some castle, you're gonna marry a prince, a lord somewhere.
Oh yeah, your sons will be knights, and
Yeah.
she says that's not me.
Yeah, so it alludes to Arya saying that that's not me, but as far as why Nymeria is not gonna go with her is because Nymeria is that's not the life she wants.
Nope,
She doesn't want to go back to.
She's found her pack, and
Yeah.
Arya needs to get back to her pack.
Mm-hmm.
So will that be the last we see of Nymeria? Who knows? Maybe she's gonna.
Well, with how little we've seen of Ghost, I think it's the last we'll see
You
of
think so?
Nymeria.
Oh, that would be.
I know, yeah.
But who knows? Maybe the last season they have the with the wars to come, the big battle between the Fire and Ice. Maybe Direwolf will come in there. We'll throw
Maybe,
everything.
yeah.
Then we can even out. We'll give the Nice King's army frozen spider, ice spider.
There we go, ice spiders. Yep.
Because
Why not?
ice spiders.
Why not?
It's because who knows what it's going to lead up to. So we don't know if we're going to see Nymeria again. But here we see Greyjoys and Martell. They're on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
They're on the boat.
They got their flippy floppies.
And things are kind of a little bit awkward, I would say, with Yara and Alaria, and they're making Theon watch. It's awkward in the sense that your brother's there.
Yeah.
And the shit that Theon's been through, he's having to stand aside as Ramsay. Anyway, yeah.
I like Yara. I don't like Alaria. So, and then shit kind of goes down.
Yeah, they were just Alaria and Yara was making out, and then thank goodness the interruption happens when you hear a crash, and then they run up to the deck, and then they see they're being surrounded by a giant silver kraken.
Yep.
So that's Greyjoy's. I mean, the other Greyjoys.
Euron's is, I think in the show it's called Silencer, but in the book it's Silence, which I think is a better name.
Huh.
Because he cuts the tongues out of all of his crewmen. In the book he does.
Oh boy.
Yep, so that's why it's called Silence. I think
Yeah, and
pretty
all
badass.
kind of chaos ensues as Euron catches up to the fleet, Daenerys' fleet, on their way to Dorne, and they kind of, Euron comes into it, and he just unleashes all kinds of mayhem.
He truly does. Apparently nobody, I know it looks foggy, so that's like the only excuse, but nobody's looking out for anything. No crow's nest in use, nothing. And then
Like you can imagine if Euron comes to them, it's a lot of fleets,
For
a
sure.
lot of ships. But he is, his ship is called the Silence.
Yep.
So maybe
and he is a little crazy, so
he knows how to navigate
Yep.
the sea. So he's been on raids many times.
that's
so
very
that's
true.
going against these youngins.
Yep.
Maybe Yara's got battle written experience, but she's never
She
traveled to
does,
sea
yep.
like Euron. Euron's basically been to everywhere in Planetos,
That's very true. Yep.
or according
he
to
says he's been
according to
to Karth, to Shai, to even Valeria itself.
So yeah, the battle, and then one of the Sand Snake came and started fighting an axe with the whips, and I just thought it was like grossly mismatched weapons.
Yeah, it is
Fighting a whip with the axe.
foregone conclusion on that one.
So bye whichever, the Barbaria or
Obara. And then Nymeria was the other one,
okay.
Lady Nim. And then the third one's name.
Is it
Tyene?
Tyene?
Tyene? Yeah.
Yeah, Tyene is the little baby snake.
I always only read it, and I don't remember it from the show. So.
Valentine.
Tyene.
Tyene.
So yeah, a couple of baby snakes
Couple of
are
baby snakes.
no
The
more.
only reason I feel bad is because they were Oberyn's daughters, and
Oberyn's a cool.
I like Oberyn. In the books, I like the Sand Snakes a lot more. They're each very unique, very different. To show Oberyn's taste in women was all over the
So
board.
these are all his bastards from different women. Oberyn.
Yep.
So the baby one is Alaria's own, right?
In the show, she is.
Okay, so but
In the book, she's the daughter of a Septa. And yep. And then Oberyn's
Oberyn and a Septa.
had
Okay, Oberyn.
Yep.
He just doesn't say no to anyone.
No, and then
Men, women, Septas, Septon.
yeah, Obara's mom is a prostitute, and then Lady Nim, her mother was a Volantis noblewoman. So he gets around. He's got another one. Solera is daughter of a Summer Islander, so he's all over the board. He does not discriminate at all.
So like, was it Aegon the Third, the one that had all the bastards?
Yep, Aegon the Fourth.
The fourth, okay,
The unworthy. He
Yeah,
had all the
that
bastards.
bastard,
Yep.
Anyway, so going back to the scene, we kind of got dripped off a little bit.
It's easy. Yep.
Naval battle. A crazy couple of sand snakes are taken care of by Euron now, and overwhelming other Bat Greyjoy size took over. They went down to the ship and arrested Alara, and she's like, "Kill me now!" And one of the Greyjoy soldiers like, we're gonna make you suffer a little bit, maybe, but no, you're coming with us.
Gift for a queen, perhaps.
And then you're Theon. We come back to Theon's circle. Theon fights. Yara gets captured by Euron, and he holds the axe to her throat.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person that could jump in and do anything about it, save her, is Theon. Again, Theon faced with a decision in which he bitches the hell out by jumping off board.
I get it. He has been through some shit. He's got just trauma coming out the wazoo, and we want more of him than I think he's truly able to give. We can only hope that he came around. He would save Yara, and had he fought Euron, he would have died. There's no question.
You're right. There was really no chance there. And then along with, like sometimes we watch a movie and, like at the end, the hero will rise up and forgot everything, forgot about his PTSD or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just overcomes, which, real life characters, people who've been through so much, they might show some signs that they're better, but then they'll take a couple of steps backward, because he saved Sansa, redeems himself.
Yep.
Which looks like he's gonna, he comes back to Yara and they're with Daenerys now, and then this big moment comes, the first sign of any action,
Yeah, it was a very human response. It was well written that that's what he did, because it was human of him to do that. Somebody
old
who's been through
flight
so
or
much.
fight.
Yeah, he just
And like you guys said,
chose flight.
he chose flight. Yep.
even he wasn't gonna. That
He's-
Euron is just crazy.
He's no hero.
So it was a pretty good battle scene. I mean, as far as cinematography, with the fire flare, the little, the fire in the middle of the night.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was a really good one. Euron's entrance with that
Yeah.
with that thing coming down and him.
He's like
yeah.
riding
The
it.
ramp just crushes the man.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
He's a beast animal.
I know he's you got to destroy some ships, but I'm like, oh, you should save the ships. You'll need them. You don't destroy ships. But he just wantonly is throwing fire and breaking hulls and.
He's attracted to chaos and destruction. Really,
is.
He's just one of the crazy ones.
Yep.
So that's very interesting to see. So we apparently this is the gift that he promised the queen from earlier. That he's going to come back with a gift for her to get her in.
So that'll be interesting to see how she likes that gift.
Yep.
I think we're all curious as to that.
Which will be the next episode.
Yep.
The Queen's Justice. Interesting.
So, yeah, I felt this episode the last one was a lot more, pro Daenerys. Things are looking good, and this kind of ended on a little sour note for Team
Yeah.
Dany.
To the name of the episode, Stormborn. It's the storm. You're born in a storm, and
Yep.
things aren't going to be easy in the storm.
Exactly. She's overcome a lot so far, but that doesn't mean, taking her birthright is going to be easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, starting a new big video cast podcast is not going to be easier. But that wraps up our second episode of Good Morning Westeros. And I appreciate you guys joining me, and we'll just wrap a few things up. We would appreciate if you guys would comment or give us a like, maybe subscribe, because we are just kicking this off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We are just kicking this off. And if you guys have any critiques or any comment, just be nice about it. Don't be jerk ass about it. But we're free to leave us a comment as far as, you want to see less of my hair or whatever.
Yeah.
We would appreciate any comment. And
More wine,
we're just having fun. We're just a few friends that we like to talk about this, and we love to look forward to the next chance to bring you guys review, and we love to just continue on with our podcast. Again, my name is Bobby Tao.
I am Laura Kerner-Keplin.
And I am David Keplin.
Good.
Morning,
Evening.
Westeros.
It's the long night.
The long night.
We're going to have a long night with the wine after this. But
Yes.
thank you for joining. We will see you next time on Good Morning Westeros.